This is an update on who Harris may pick as her VP candidate after Roy Cooper announced earlier today that he was withdrawing his name from consideration. In an earlier video, which I will link in the more section below, I mentioned that the three main candidates for Harris's vice president selection were Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, and Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. Of those individuals, Kelly has the largest national name recognition. I thought that Roy Cooper, a Southern Democrat from North Carolina who had successfully won two statewide elections in that state for governor, would have helped Harris carry North Carolina. Cooper is in the last year of his term limited 8 years as North Carolina's governor. In 2020, Trump won North Carolina by 49.9% to 48.6%, with a Libertarian candidate receiving 0.9%. While Cooper expressed concern about the Republican Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, who is far more noxious than even Trump, in my opinion, seizing executive authority while Cooper was out of state campaigning, I suspect the real reason for him withdrawing his name is that he may run for the U.S. Senate in 2026 against Tom Tillis, the incumbent Republican senator, who will likely face a primary challenge from the far right of the Republican Party and may lose to a candidate that would be far easier for Cooper to beat in that 2026 North Carolina Senate election. The North Carolina Republicans censored Tillis after he voted for both the Respect for Marriage Act, which codified protections for same-sex and interracial couples, and the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which has been described as the most significant gun legislation since the 1990s. It wasn't much, but at least it was something. The Republican Party in North Carolina is now dominated by voters who elected Mark Robinson as their candidate for governor and Michelle Morrow as school superintendent in the upcoming November election. Morrow has zero experience in the job, homeschools her own children, and is perhaps best remembered for suggesting that Obama needed to be executed during a live pay-per-view broadcast. She has also approved of QAnon conspiracy theories. And the nomination of those two individuals tell you where the North Carolina Republican Party is now and the chances that they will elect someone similar or nominate someone similar in 2026 rather than re-electing Tom Tillis. I've discussed both Morrow and Robinson, which I consider both extremely disturbing individuals, in prior videos, which I have linked in the More section below. The two most likely remaining candidates are Kelly and Shapiro. If Harris believes, based on polling, that Trump may carry Pennsylvania or has a good chance of carrying it, then Shapiro would likely be picked. He has won statewide races in that state for governor and attorney general. He is Jewish. I would describe him as more articulate than Kelly, but not smarter. I don't think there has ever been a Jewish or vice president or president in U.S. history. So if Harris and Shapiro both won, if they were both on a ticket and won in November, that would be a first for not only a woman but a Jew as well. Kelly would, in my opinion, be the best pick after Cooper withdrew from consideration. He is a former astronaut and he flew combat missions in Iraq, the first Gulf War. He has appealed to white male voters, which is a weakness of Harris. I think he has more of an appeal to those voters than Shapiro would. His wife, Gabby Giffords, a former member of Congress from Arizona, was almost assassinated in 2011, receiving a shot in the head. The gunman hit 19 individuals with gunfire, murdering a federal judge and a 9-year-old child. She would be a candidate to replace her husband in the event Harris selects Kelly and then wins in November, but she may not want the job. Kelly won re-election in 2022. If he became the VP and Harris wins, Arizona law provides that the current Democrat governor could fill the vacant seat until the next general election, which would be the 2026 election. However, Kelly is the most likely person to win the 2028 Senate contest and to win a third term as senator. So that is a consideration militating against his selection now as a VP candidate. I thought that I would end with the comment about why states like Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona have become battleground states. In large part, it is a reaction to Trump and the kind of politicians that he endorses for statewide races like Kari Lake in Arizona, Mark Robinson in North Carolina, Herschel Walker in Georgia. It is really odd that Georgia now has 2 Democrat senators, and Trump is the reason for that. Trump is turning some lean Republican voters into voting for Democrats just in enough numbers to put those kind of states in play. Kari Lake is running for the vacant Senate seat in Arizona after losing the governor's race, the primaries today, I believe. Trump has won the Republican nomination for president 3 times in a row, in case anyone needed to be reminded of that fact. No one had a chance to defeat him in the 2024 primaries, and the reason is simple. The Republican Party is totally controlled by Trump and is indistinguishable from him. They are one and the same, and that is what a clear supermajority of Republicans want.